about to get serious today. I'm gonna close this door because there's a lot of noise going on out here. Crazy city of Denver. We're getting serious today, guys. We're gonna talk training for the Solstice 50 miler. We're gonna go through the plan for running, mountain running, strength training, recovery. Let's first go through the details of the race that's coming up here. So I'll share my screen here in a bit. The race is the Solstice 50 miler. All right, so here we have it up on sjs50.com. The race is officially in 87 days, 14 hours at the time of this recording. So today's date, it's Thursday, March 28th when we're recording this. Let's take a quick look at the map and distance, elevation gain, stuff like that. It looks like there's two big climbs and like a smaller climb at the end here, but essentially we can think of it, looks like it's just one big loop with 3 climbs, quite a long one here in the middle. And it looks like peak altitude goes up to, that's about 13,300. So we get up to about 13,300 feet of altitude, which is awesome. And overall, so total elevation gain looks like 12,000 feet of gain. So not too crazy. I did the Spartan Ultra. My first Ultra was the Spartan Utah, which was like 12,000 or 11,000 feet of gain. And that was across 32 miles. So with this being 50, yes, it looks like that first climb is a little bit steeper and so is the very last one, but they don't look that long. It looks like it goes mile 40 to 42, so about 2 miles. And you're going from 9,500 feet up to about 11.1, let's call it 11.2 all day. So about 1,500 feet across 2 miles, not bad. That actually reminds me of like the first climb that we do at Mount Falcon over in Morrison. So that's about 1,500 feet of gain in the first 2 miles. So not bad, right? But it is at the end, right? So we'll do that last climb. It'll be 42 miles in. So the last 8 is all descending, which is great. Okay, so we got 50 miles, 12,000 feet of gain. We're 85 days out. Let's go through the plan. So I put together this 14-week plan. At the time of this recording, this is the end of week 2. So I'm essentially at this Thursday of week 2 with 8 miles. I ended up doing 9 this morning. So right now for this week, I'm at 29 miles and I have 47 to hit for the week. If we hit tomorrow 7, that'll get us to 36. So we'll have to do 11 miles on Saturday. Not bad. I think I did 6 miles yesterday and Monday, and I should have added 1 more. But again, this is like a 2-week buffer from High Rocks where I'm kind of just like being easy on myself as we start to ramp up the running volume. So in last week's video, I talked a little bit about how my running volume is going to be going up and my strength training is going to be going down later on in the program. So in this video, I'm going to go into detail around how that's going to be structured out. So most of you guys know, if you've been following me for a while, I like to do 6 days a week of running, and I typically go easy, hard, easy, hard, easy, hard. Easy days, running easy miles, not going hard, low heart rate, low intensity. And then on my hard days, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, mountain runs, speed runs, higher intensity, longer duration. So for these 2 weeks, it's really just staying in the 40s. Starting next week, I'll start breaking into the 50s. So essentially my running volume, if we just go down the weeks, it essentially goes 42, 47, 53, all the way up to 70. And what I want to do here is I want to build up to 70 miles a week and I want to hold that. So one of the things that I like to do when prepping for these types of races, like an ultra marathon or a longer Spartan beast, like the Spartan Utah beast is really hard and that's got a lot of elevation gain. I try to get my mileage up to a certain level and then I just sustain that for about 4 weeks to make the body durable, but also be comfortable with that mileage. So then when we start to deload, which I'll do in week 13, as you see, we drop from 70 to 47. This essentially allows us to back off, let the body recover and prep for that big pop. And in this case, the 50 miles. So if you look at the end of week 13 here, we drop to 47. And then in the next week, not including the 50 miles that Saturday for week 14, we're only running 20 miles that week. And that's essentially just to stay loose, keep the blood flowing, nothing intense, just keeping the body moving. We may do like an easy mountain run, just keep everything flowing, but we're not putting any strain on the body because we know that that Saturday, the 50 miles, it's going to be a lot to sustain. So the way I'm thinking about Monday, Wednesday, Friday, these are just easy road miles. So, we're building up to 8 miles on the road. I'll do them downtown, easy pace. I mean, we're talking around 8:30 to 9:30 minute miles, just getting the volume under the feet. And that's just essentially just keeping the blood flowing. And as we think about Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I'm really thinking Tuesday and Saturdays are going to be my mountain days. And then Thursdays, I'm going to leave open. Like if I feel like doing a mountain, I'm going to do the mountain. If I feel like doing a speed, I might hit some road with some friends just to shake things up a little bit. Because as I mentioned in last week's video, one of the things I'm taking into this year's season that I found success in from last year is the ability to be agile with my programming and being okay with getting outside of the structure and getting more involved with other athletes and learning from other people and just being around more people. Because for me, I get a ton of benefit from a mental, emotional, and spiritual aspect of being around other athletes who are focused on different types of races, but it also helps break up the week of just having everything so regimented to just kind of like being around other people and just having fun. And so Tuesday and Saturdays, mountain days, probably starting around like 5:30, 5:45, just depending on like the day. So one of the things with the mountain runs is that I want to be having variability in the trails that I run. So I'm not going to be doing the same trail every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I want to be alternating between trails that have like rolling hills. So like if you're from Denver, one of the mountains that I like to run a lot is Green Mountain in Lakewood. It's a rolling hill trail. For this like an 8 or 10 mile option here, you can get 10.3 miles with roughly 2,000 feet of gain. That is a perfect rolling hill option for someone that's here in Denver. The alternative to the rolling hills are what I call like power mountain runs, where it's just a straight climb up, you hit the peak and then you run straight down. I look at that as power because you're going at a much slower pace versus the rolling hills where you have the flats and the downhills, and you're really just focusing on sustaining consistency. And for me, I'm not going that fast. I mean, at the fastest, I'm probably going at about a 10-minute mile, but regularly probably around like 12-minute miles, just straight climbing. And so I referenced Mount Falcon before. That's a perfect example of a power climb where it's 4 miles up, roughly 2,000 feet of gain, and then you go 4 miles back down, just flying, and you're hitting about like 6-minute, 5:30-minute miles on the way down, and it's just a ton of fun. So again, the two different types of mountain runs that I'm going to be doing on a weekly basis are our rolling hills and then the power runs, straight climbs, straight descents. And then for that Thursday where I was talking about the variability, like if I want to do speed, I'm going to do speed. For me, I don't really need to be focused on intervals at this time, given that this is an ultra marathon and not like a high rocks or a short Spartan race. So I'm going to be doing tempo runs or progression runs. Again, really just focusing on opening up the legs, getting some turnover, having fun, because I do enjoy the speed work. And if I feel like I'm getting a little bit stiff with the mountain running, I'll throw in a speed run. Or if someone asks they want to do a run together, I'll throw a speed run in that case. One question that's come up when people ask me to run is like, hey, what do you have on your schedule? And I'd be like, hey, let's say it's week 4. That Thursday I have 9 miles. If someone says they just want to run 6, that's totally cool. I'll run 6 with them, and then I'll either do 3 at lunch or 3 like before the evening session, or I'll just do 3 beforehand, whatever it may be, because I have found a ton of joy in just like running with other people. So as we progress into the program, we're going to be increasing running volume. And by the time we get to week 8, we're going to be dropping our strength training and increasing the running volume up to 70 miles. So let's talk a little bit about what I'm doing from a strength perspective now leading up to week 8, and then what changes from week 8 until week 13. So right now I'm in the end of week 2, and what I'm doing is essentially I have 3 days a week where I do my strength training. I like to couple my strength training on my hard effort days because, again, I like to do easy days and hard days. My easy days, I'm not doing anything high intensity. I'll do those easy miles on the road, and typically I'll just go to the rock climbing gym and just move the body. It's not very strenuous on the body. It's a very social environment. There's not anything crazy going on. Just a nice way to get outside, socialize with people, but also move the body at the same time. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, where we have our mountain or speed runs, I'm going to be coupling that afternoon with a strength training session. So because I have 3 days a week that I do strength, I have 4 dedicated workouts that I'm going to be carrying into this program. So I'll have workout A, B, C, D. So essentially what happens is that in week 1, I'll do A, B, C, and then in week 2, I'll do D, A, B. And then in week 3, it'll be C, D, A. And as you see, it kind of like funnels through to allow a cycle of exercises. For me as a hybrid athlete, I like to do full body sessions because I don't need to be doing bodybuilding splits, as it's going to be doing too much strain on the body, and where the main objective right now is to build up our mountain running conditioning. However, we still do need strength, which is why I couple 3 strength training sessions on a weekly basis. So for a full body perspective, I always like to start off with unilateral work. So think of that as like single arm, single leg movements to get the body moving as a warm up. I then break it up into a couple different exercises. I always like to start off with lower body. So I'll have a lower body hinge, lower body push, lateral, and then I move into upper body vertical pull, upper body vertical push, upper body horizontal pull, and upper body horizontal push. So you hit all of the different planes of movement in a single session, and each workout, A, B, C, D, has a different area where we throw in a subset. So this is where the complexities of being a hybrid athlete and training for different types of races come into play, because we do want to be a dynamic athlete. And so that's why I like to embed subsets into specific exercises. So an example of that, if you look at workout B, I like to include a rope climb after my dumbbell pullovers. This could be something that carries over into Spartan racing. In workout D, we have farmer carries, which we're not training for our high rocks yet, but it isn't something that we want to lose long term. So every fourth strength training session, I throw in 4 by 25 meters of farmer carries. This also helps shake up the different types of exercises that you do from a strength perspective. And again, just getting out of the monotony of just like the same thing over and over and over. I also like to embed body weight movements because yes, I do want to build strength by leveraging different weights, kettlebells, barbells, and stuff like that. But I also believe in having control over your body weight, because what's the point of being able to pick up a bunch of weight if you can't even carry your own body? So that's why I like to embed stuff like handstand holds, dips, scapula pull-ups, stuff like that, because I truly believe that in order to be a dynamic hybrid athlete, you need to be multifaceted in different domains, whether it's running, lifting up heavy weights, controlling your body weight, but also having stability and balance from a performance standpoint. So if you see on the table, it has our volume of 4 by 10. So if we look at workout A, we see elevated barbell deadlifts, it says 4 by 10. We talked a little bit about as the running volume increases, our strength training is going to come down. So I'm going to be following essentially this 4 by 10 volume from now until we hit week 8. Once week 8 hits, we're going to be hitting 70 miles a week, which is a lot of running volume. I mean, that's a lot. And so something's got to give. And for me, what I looked at is, okay, we've built the strength, we have it. We're going to take some time away from that, and we're going to be going from 4 by 10 down to 3 by 10, giving up 25% of our strength training volume to make up for that additional running volume. Because again, we go back to what is the main objective, building our mountain running conditioning. This is not something that I would do long term. It's just something that's going to help me get over the fence of running 70 miles a week and to complete the race. And then after this program is through, we'll take some time off and we go right back to the 4 by 10 volume for strength training. And some people ask, like, why is this so important? For me, I am a big advocate for strength training for runners. The reason why is because it makes your body durable. It helps with your bone density. It helps you with the muscle development and helps keep you healthy long term. And so I want to be able to carry that muscle for as long as I can into this program, so that I'm walking into this race as healthy as possible. It almost reminds me of like what I was talking about in the high rocks training, where like I will do a power build up until 4 or 5 weeks until high rocks, and then I pivot over into a speed block. I can't sustain that speed, not only just from an injury standpoint, but just like so much high intensity of just like the intervals, the progression runs. It just does such a big hit on your immune system. And like for me, I either get injured or I get sick. But by having strength training and muscle on the body, it helps keep me healthy. I can eat what I want. I don't have to be so strenuous on like, don't eat this, don't eat that. It allows me to be flexible in not just my training, but my lifestyle as a whole. And that's why I'm so adamant with like the strength training component of everything. So that's essentially it. We're going to be building up running volume and strength right now. Up until week 8, we're going to drop the strength training volume by 25% while increasing the running volume up to 70 miles. And then come week 13, we'll start to deload. 2 weeks before the race, we're going to drop down to 47 miles. And then the week of the race, we're going to drop down to 20 miles. And then June 22nd, we will run 50 miles for the first time ever in our life. All of us are going to do it, not just me, all of us. So that's essentially my plan. Let me know if you have any questions, concerns, or if I just sound completely fucking nuts. Be sure to leave them in the comments section below. I appreciate you watching, and we will catch you in the next video.